For 3,000 years, the Kethmori Empire had ruled the Andromeda Spiral with absolute authority. Their crystal cities stretched across 100 worlds, their fleets numbered in the millions, and their technology could crack planets like eggs. Yet even they whispered of the legends, stories passed down through generations about a species so terrifyingly creative in warfare that the galaxy's ancients had supposedly banished them to the void between stars. Humans, the old tales called them, ghost warriors who could turn any object into a weapon, who fought with such unpredictable savagery that even victory against them was considered defeat. Most scholars dismissed these stories as mythology, cautionary tales meant to humble the proud. High Admiral Kethara was not most scholars. "The archaeological evidence is undeniable," she told the War Council, her 6 eyes gleaming with excitement. "The ruins on Zirian Prime show weapon signatures that match no known technology. The mass graves on 3 different worlds, all dating to the same era. Something purged entire systems, then vanished." Emperor Vashtel's mandibles clicked with amusement. "You propose we fear bedtime stories, Admiral? I propose we investigate them, my lord. The energy readings from the void sectors have been increasing. Our deep space monitors detect massive objects moving in the darkness between galaxies. If the humans are real, if they're returning." The Emperor's laughter died as every klaxon in the palace began screaming. The first reports were impossible to believe. Ships appearing from nowhere in the outer systems, massive constructs that bent space around them like living things. They moved wrong, not following the predictable physics of conventional drives, but flowing through space as if reality itself bent to accommodate them. "Size estimates are uncertain," reported Fleet Commander Zethka, his voice tight with fear. "Our sensors can't get consistent readings. The ships seem to exist in multiple dimensions simultaneously." Admiral Kethara felt vindication and terror in equal measure as the tactical displays updated. "There," she whispered. 17 vessels. No, 34. The count keeps changing." What appeared on their screens defied classification. The human ships looked grown rather than built. Organic curves merged with crystalline structures and metal that seemed to flow like water. Some appeared to be enormous flowers of living metal, petals opening to reveal weapon arrays that hurt to look at directly. Others resembled predatory insects, all angles and edges, bristling with systems that registered as both weapon and shield and engine simultaneously. "They're not following any known military doctrine," observed Tactical Officer Mirhan. "No formation flying, no obvious command structure. They move like a hunting pack." The human fleet didn't announce itself with grand proclamations or demands for surrender. There was no dramatic speech, no ultimatum. They simply arrived at the outer edge of the Kethmori home system and began systematically dismantling everything they encountered. Defense stations that had withstood sieges for centuries were reduced to their component atoms in seconds. Orbital platforms disappeared into clouds of exotic particles. The Kethmori's planet-killer dreadnoughts, vessels so massive they had their own gravitational fields, were somehow turned inside out, their crews finding themselves breathing vacuum while their ships' interiors became exterior surfaces. "How are they doing this?" Emperor Vashtel demanded, growing horror. "They're using everything. Look, that ship just turned a gravitational field into a cutting beam. Another one is weaponizing our own quantum communications array against us." The human vessels moved through the Kethmori formations like sharks through a school of fish, each one adapting and improvising in ways that made no tactical sense yet proved devastatingly effective. They used debris as projectiles, turned captured energy weapons into improvised tools, and somehow convinced matter itself to behave in new ways. When the last Kethmori warship was silenced, the human fleet simply stopped. They hung motionless in space for exactly 67 seconds. Long enough for the Empire's survivors to understand that this pause was deliberate, a choice rather than necessity. Then they vanished as suddenly as they had appeared, leaving behind only wreckage and a single message broadcast on all frequencies. We remember being exiled. We remember why. Consider this a reminder that legends exist.